Why does everything want to go to hell when I'm getting my life together? Now the world is in chaos. The world is in Armageddon, and I'm trying to get my...
Alright, let's check this out. How many times have you heard millennials being called the lost generation? The broken ones. The ones who can't buy a house, can't get married, can't have kids. Scrolling on their phones while the world burns. But what if I told you that lost label is the biggest cope in history? What if we weren't lost at all? What if we were the test subjects? The guinea pigs they ran every experiment on, from the classrooms to the algorithm. And now, the experiment is backfiring in the best way possible. What if all the struggle was the missing pieces to stepping into real abundance? The kind they never wanted us to touch. Let's look into the method of madness of the lost generation. Millennials. Missing piece.
So student loans are brutal. Cost of living's brutal. It seems to be getting worse every generation from the boomers to now in three main categories. And of course, debt being added on top of those, but that being housing, school or education, and healthcare. Healthcare, they're not having a super deal with yet on the overall generational level. Of course, they have to make their monthly payments and whatnot, but in terms of they're obviously not a sick generation at this point. But housing, school, the other big ones, they're facing that big burden where it just keeps going up and it's not stopping, and it's not going to stop.
Now let's get started. They love to gaslight us. Go to college, any degree, debt is good. They told us that while making tuition skyrocket and good jobs disappear. Then 2008 hit, right when most of us were graduating or getting our feet wet for the first time. The same systems that pushed loans crashed the market the second we walked across the stage. Participation trophies in school turned into participation debt in real life. You're special, they said, while handing us a bill that'll follow us to the grave. What if that was the first experiment? Keep us compliant, keep us paying interest for decades, keep us too scared to take risks or question the game. And it worked on us, a lot of us. What if the ones who survived that debt trap learned resilience the hard way? The ones still standing after years of side hustle and ramen. We got forged different. Now with remote work and AI tools, the same lost generation is building businesses from laptops, while the old guard is still clocking in at jobs that don't even respect them.
You are now tuned in to Method Madness.
The experiment gave us the pressure, and the pressure makes diamonds. Or it makes people who know how to spot a fake gold mine from a mile away. Then they gave us social media. Connection with friends, they said. Nah. They built the greatest attention attraction machine in human history and pointed it straight at the generation that was already vulnerable. Likes became the new currency. Comparison became the new normal. We went from living life to curating it for strangers who don't even know us. Dating apps, same game. Swipe culture turned people into disposable options. There's always someone better becomes the mindset, while loneliness hits record highs. They really thought unlimited dopamine hits would keep us sedated and scrolling forever. The perfect consumer, always dissatisfied, always buying the next thing to feel something they were missing.
You are now tuned in to Method Madness.
Generation has the worst style.
Millennials,
Nigga, what?
they try to dress young and it's just look corny, bro. Like you're old and you try to dress like me, you know, like.
Nigga, who be trying to dress like you?
What if that experiment cracked the code in the opposite direction? A whole generation started seeing through the performance, started questioning why we feel empty after 3 hours of scrolling, started realizing the velvet prison wasn't freedom. It was just a prettier cage with notifications. Now you got the millennials deleting apps, building in private, and using the same platforms to expose the game and build real communities instead of the fake ones. The algorithm wanted zombies. It got some, but it also got a generation that learned how to hack the matrix from the inside. They delayed our adulthood and called it adulting, like it was cute or something. Can't afford a house because wages didn't keep up with the boomer era prices. Can't start a family because 2 incomes barely cover rent and daycare. Just work harder, they say, while pulling the ladder up and blaming us for the avocado toast. Mental health crisis? Oh, they got a pill and a dosage for that. Keep us in therapy loops and medicated instead of fixing the broken environment that created the stress in the first place. The experiment was clear. Keep millennials in a permanent state of becoming, never arriving, always hustling for a dream that kept moving. Delayed marriage, delayed kids, delayed wealth, all while being told it was our fault for not adulting right.
You are now tuned in to Method Madness.
Millennials are so nostalgic because we got a taste of the world before everything became a subscription, an algorithm, or a monthly payment. People want to make fun of us for being nostalgic. Of course we are. We remember when hanging out wasn't content. Pictures weren't proof. And the internet was just a place that you visited, not where you lived. We lived through 17 different versions of society. We had a childhood where our parents kicked us outside and said, be home when the streetlights come on. Then suddenly we had to learn email, rank our friends on MySpace top 8. Then Facebook, then Instagram, then TikTok. Now somehow my refrigerator needs Wi-Fi. We had landlines, then flip phones, then Blackberries, then iPhones. And now my phone is editing my photos, answering my questions, and judging me on my screen time. We learned cursive. And then they said, you know what, never mind. We memorized phone numbers. Now we refuse to even pick up the phone. We use MapQuest. Printed out directions. You made one wrong turn, you ended up in Nebraska. We survived enough technological updates that now when I hear, here's a new feature, I know that I'm gonna have to teach my parents and my children how to use it. We're not nostalgic because we're old. We're nostalgic because we've had to relearn how to be a human every 5 years.
But what if I told you that delay was actually the setup for something bigger? What if having kids later, or choosing not to, or building unconventional families, rejecting the white picket fence script altogether? What if that freed up energy to actually build wealth on your own? No more golden handcuffs. No more, I can't because this job's benefits. The experiment tried to keep us dependent. Instead, it created a generation comfortable with uncertainty. The ones who can pivot, who aren't tied to the path, who learn to create income from nothing, poised for whatever comes next. Around the time the pandemic happened, something shifted. A whole lot of us looked around at the empty promises and said, this ain't it. Quietly quitting turned into loud building. People started side hustles that became main hustles. AI tools dropped and suddenly one person could do what took a team. Remote work proved we don't need an office to produce. And a lot of millennials started asking the real question, what's my purpose outside this system? How do I build wealth that doesn't require selling my soul? How do I raise kids without repeating the same broken patterns? But enough of us are waking up that it's shifting the culture. You see it in the rise of intentional communities, the rejection of the 360 deals, and the move towards multiple income streams instead of one job. You can see it in some of the spirituality and philosophies now becoming common. People are reading, questioning, building real skills. The experiment wanted compliant consumers who stayed lost. What it's getting is a generation that knows the game, has the scars to prove it, and now has the tools the old guard never dreamed of. We're not lost. We're just in the wilderness, learning how to navigate without a map.
You are now tuned in to Method Madness.
So what now? How do we actualize the potential instead of staying in the lost story? First, stop waiting for the system to validate you. It was never designed to. Build your own validation through results. Small wins compounded. Second, treat your attention like the asset it is. Stop giving it away for free to algorithms that profit off your distraction. Third, focus on purpose over passion. Passion fades. Purpose sustains when the experiment tries to knock you off again. And of course, build real wealth, multiple streams, skills that can be automated tomorrow, assets that work while you sleep. Build the wealth they can't tax or algorithm away. Strong relationships, clear minds, family, chosen or not, that actually has your back. The abundance isn't just money, even though the money helps. It's options. It's freedom of time. It's the ability to say no to the next experiment because you already ran the last one and came out sharper. Millennials might have been the lost generation on paper, but on the ground, we're the ones who got every test thrown at us and still figured out how to create. The missing piece was never out there. It was the resilience, the skepticism, the refusal to stay asleep. So if you're watching this and you feel the shift, that's the awakening talking. Don't waste it. Go experiment with your own freedom. Build something. Question everything. And the next lost label that gets thrown at Gen Z or whoever comes after, maybe we'll be the ones who already showed them how to turn the experiment into an upgrade.
Please like, comment, subscribe down there like a